Welcome to MHRC, it's Mike, and I'm going to make a video about installing this, the Runcam Control Adapter. This is just a little a board that you can install so that you can control your little micro camera from your transmitter. You don't have to, instead of having to plug in that little joystick to access your camera controls, now you can do it from reliably from your transmitter. So all you have to do is wire this into the camera, and also you'd have to have a spare UART, TX, and RX on your flight controller. Now, this is the first time I've tried to use a spare UART, so we'll see how that goes for me, and setting it up in Betaflight should be pretty easy. Comes with all the wiring you need. These are the two wires that are going to go to the camera. You can either use the plug, or I might just pull out the wires and plug it into the existing harness, and then that goes on to here in a specific way. I'll look that up before I do it. And then 3 wires coming out, or 4 wires. You need the power ground from your flight controller, some spare 5 volts, and then you're going to hook up the TX and RX to the RX and the TX on the flight controller. Hopefully that'll make sense when I do it. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is tin up the little pads on the control adapter itself. Okay, so if you look at the bottom, menu ground, so ground is on the top there, so that will be the little black wire we'll do to the top one. Move too much. Okay, so I've got it all wired up now. I have the ground and the menu wires going to the little harness here, which will go into the camera. It's normally where the joystick would plug in. And then on the other end you have the 5 volts ground, which I have going to a spare 5 volts ground on this flight controller, just where the LED strip would be. And then the TX and the RX, and it's important that you send the TX from here to the RX on the flight controller, and vice versa. And there's tiny little TX2 and RX2 pads there, which I've soldered to the RX and TX pads on the control adapter. So there you go, there's the wiring. Let me get it all plugged back in, and let's see if I can then access the camera controls via the transmitter, because that'll be nice. Now, but before I do that, I almost forgot, I have to configure it in Betaflight. So you need at least Betaflight 3.3 to connect your quad, go over to the ports, and in the case of my flight controller, the Omnibus F3 Nano V2, it was on UART 2, the TX2 and RX2. So on UART 2, go over to the peripherals and select Runcam device, and save and reboot. And you can check again now, so once you connect it, go check ports again on, in my case, UART 2, and their Runcam device is selected. So now it should be ready to go. So there's the little Runcam control adapter installed. I just have it stuck on top of the receiver. And now let's test the controls out. I'm going to plug in my goggles so I can see what I'm doing. So I believe the way that you enter this is you center both sticks, and then if you yaw it right once, that connects it, and then the blue light should come on the adapter, and then you press right again. Now you enter the menu, right? And then you can use the, let me pick it up, and you can use the pitch and aileron stick to go up and down, left and right, and then, but you have to use the right yaw to enter, and then you can go up and down. And if you want to adjust it, so that's great, that's really convenient. You go down to return, and then to enter, yaw right, and then go down to exit. Now if you leave the, now right now it's still connected, so if I then just use the pitch stick, then you can use it like the joystick to just switch through the presets. So that's really handy as well. Let me go, sorry, I'm going to go back to outdoor. One more, two, there we go. And then if you hit, sorry, sorry, my hands are in the video. So then if you hit left now, it should be disconnected and ready to fly. So very convenient, very nice.